You wake up to a morning that feels wrong. The sunlight filters through your window, but it is cold, pale, almost hollow, as if someone drained the warmth before it reached the earth. You sit up, shivering, pulling the blanket tighter around your shoulders. The air is sharp, metallic, carrying a subtle tang that stings your lungs. Every breath feels brittle, unfamiliar. The floor beneath your feet is icy, even though it is only early morning. You step outside, expecting the familiar warmth, expecting the comfort of life's routines. But the world greets you differently. Shadows cling to objects awkwardly, almost as if reluctant to exist. Trees remain motionless, their leaves stiff with frost, cracking quietly under the strain. Birds, usually the first heralds of dawn, sit frozen on wires, heads tilted unnaturally, feathers ruffled. Eyes wide and unblinking. Even the wind seems hesitant, whispering across the streets with the weight of disbelief. Your neighbors peek from their homes, faces pale, expressions blank and uneasy. Dogs refuse to leave their yards, barking faintly, then falling silent as if they sense something beyond instinct. Somewhere down the street, a car door slams, the sound unnaturally loud in the empty chill. Children are not playing. The usual morning chatter is gone, replaced by a quiet that presses against your eardrums. You check your phone. No messages, only alerts and headlines repeating the same grim statement. Astronomers report unprecedented solar collapse. The words register, but disbelief floods your mind. You step back onto the street, lifting your face to the sky. It looks the same in shape and size, but the light is wrong, flat, cold, unnatural. For the first time, you realize warmth was never just physical. It was life itself. And suddenly, it is gone. The frost begins creeping along the edges of the pavement, delicate at first, then more aggressively, as if it knows no one can stop it. Every step you take feels heavier. The morning you once knew has disappeared, replaced by a silent, waiting void. And beneath the silence, a subtle hum, almost imperceptible, vibrates through your chest, like the world itself is holding its breath. By midday, news spreads like wildfire. Television screens flicker in homes, offices, and waiting rooms. Social media erupts with panic and disbelief. Astronomers' warnings become the world's headline. The sun has collapsed into a black hole. People cannot comprehend it. Gravity remains unchanged. Earth is not falling into the void. The science is precise, yet incomprehensible. The warmth, the life-giving glow that sustained billions for millennia, is gone. Across cities, frost creeps into buildings. Windows fog over with icy breath. Pipes burst. Cars that had been parked for hours are encased in a brittle layer of frost. People gather in groups. Voices trembling, attempting to rationalize. Shops run out of heaters and blankets within hours. Panic spreads. Faster than the frost, parents clutch their children, whispering assurances they do not believe themselves. Rural areas fare no better. Fields glisten with sudden frost. Livestock huddle together, shivering, while farmers scramble to protect them. Roads quickly become impassable. Isolated communities begin burning wood and other fuels, desperate for warmth. The first fatalities are reported in areas without access to immediate heat, and the number grows daily. Airports scramble, flights are grounded. Satellites, suddenly vulnerable to the black sun's altered radiation, begin malfunctioning. Communication falters. Governments issue statements meant to calm the public, but their words ring hollow against the stark reality outside every home. Cities become fragile fortresses of panic. Subways, tunnels, and basements are repurposed into shelters. People cling to routines as if repetition could save. Off reality, but every clock tick feels heavy, counting down the world as it once was. Weeks pass, humanity adapts or tries to. Cities become ghost towns above ground, lit by pale electric light that never mimics the warmth of sunlight. Underground shelters transform into permanent homes, families huddle together. Sharing stories of the sun that once was, engineers and scientists work tirelessly to maintain. Power grids, geothermal plants, and life support systems. Aware that a single failure could mean mass fatalities. In urban centers, streets are abandoned, overgrown with frost-sculpted debris. Governments impose curfews, rationing, and controlled zones, but chaos simmers beneath. Desperate citizens raid supply stores. Small skirmishes erupt over fuel and food. Even the most organized communities must make impossible choices. Rural and remote populations create their own survival strategies. Underground greenhouses light up the darkness with UV lamps, cultivating crops humans will never see under natural light. Livestock is corralled in frost-protected barns, while rivers and lakes slowly freeze into jagged crystal expanses. Entire regions lose communication with the outside world. Life becomes measured in heat, food, and the limited hours one can spend outside before frostbite sets in. Amid all this, humanity does not fully despair. Micro-communities emerge underground, forming fragile networks of collaboration. Scientists obsess over the black sun, studying its mass, gravitational influence, and the faint irregularities of radiation it emits. Artists paint and write, capturing the eerie beauty of frost and auroralit skies. Children grow without seeing the sun. Adapting physically and mentally, their eyes attuned to artificial light, the pulse begins subtly, almost imperceptible, emanating from the black sun. Initially dismissed, it soon gains attention. Scientists detect patterns. Engineers feel strange anomalies in systems. Families notice slight vibrations in their shelters. The world senses, collectively and subconsciously, that something alive and aware exists beyond their comprehension. The pulse strengthens, roars appear in impossible locations, streaking across the sky like liquid fire frozen in time. Gravitational sensors record minute ripples, faint but deliberate, passing unnoticed by the untrained eye. Satellite arrays, once stable, fail intermittently, flickering with strange interference. The black sun is no longer inert, it radiates influence, intelligence, awareness. Some scientists begin speaking in hushed tones of consciousness. Could the black sun think? Could it observe? Could it act? Theories multiply, but certainty eludes them. Citizens begin reporting strange phenomena, compasses spinning erratically, devices behaving unpredictably, distant lights in the frozen cities flickering in rhythm with the sun's pulse. Meanwhile, humanity's routine adaptation takes on a ritualistic feel. Engineers monitor every system, making tiny adjustments in perfect harmony with the pulse's faint beat. Children born underground learn of the sun's rhythm before they learn about the night sky as it once existed. Communities grow both reverent and fearful, their lives intertwined with a celestial heartbeat they cannot touch. Panic and awe coexist. Some worship the pulse as divine, others flee from it, calling it a predator in waiting. And across every frozen landscape, every underground city, every surviving heart, there is a subtle, shared awareness. The universe is alive in ways humanity has never comprehended. A single, invisible rhythm threads through existence, binding them to a power beyond calculation or control. Then it comes the flare. One moment, the black sun pulses faintly, its rhythm steady and haunting. The next, a sudden eruption of light bursts from the singularity. Brighter than 1,000 suns combined, the seconds stretch into eternity. You feel it in your chest, in the ground beneath your feet, in the frozen streets of every city. Oceans swell and shift violently, cracking ice sheets that had taken weeks to form. Rivers overflow briefly, then freeze again, jagged and deadly. Satellites are instantly fried. Power grids overload and flicker. 1,000 cities plunge into darkness. The Earth vibrates as though it senses the immense power. Pulsing through space, planes, frozen mid-flight, shudder. Instrument readings spike, compasses spin uncontrollably, and clocks stutter, marking time in irregular pulses. The stars above are gone or rearranged. Constellations no longer resemble what humans have charted for millennia, familiar cosmic. Landmarks are distorted, as though the universe itself has shifted. And humanity realizes its coordinates within space are no longer reliable. Panic spreads in waves. Governments, already strained by frost and scarcity, crumble under the weight of incomprehensible cosmic forces. Cities enforce curfews, rationing, and mandatory shelters. Streets empty further, leaving only silence. Broken by distant screams and the groaning of structures stressed by frost and ice, families huddle in subways, abandoned office buildings, and tunnels. Some clutch photographs of sunlight long gone. Others whisper prayers or plead with empty air, hoping for an answer from a universe that does not respond amid chaos. Scientists remain at their instruments, frantically recalculating orbital paths, analyzing the flare's radiation, and attempting to predict the black sun's next action. Yet every formula, every computation, is inadequate. The flare has revealed that the sun's transformation was not simply a collapse, but a deliberate awakening. A shift in cosmic balance that humanity cannot understand, let alone control, beneath the surface of a frozen, flaring Earth. Life continues in shadowed communities. Families huddle in improvised shelters, recounting memories of warmth they never thought to value. Children born after the collapse play under artificial lights. Unaware of the sunlight their parents once knew, their eyes adapted to the dim glow. Each laugh, each cry is a testament to humanity's stubborn survival. Engineers work tirelessly in subterranean tunnels, repairing power lines and life support systems, their hands raw from frostbite and fatigue. They speak in terse, clipped sentences, sharing both fear and determination in the frozen cities above. Scavengers navigate the brittle streets, carrying heat lamps, fuel, and salvage food from one fragile community to another. Each journey is perilous. Each successful return is celebrated as a small victory against an uncaring universe. Meanwhile, scientists studied the pulse, attempting to decipher its meaning. Some claim it is conscious, deliberate, aware of humanity's every movement. Others theorize it is a cosmic rhythm, indifferent yet observable, a universal heartbeat threading through space and time. Still, every observation is tinged with awe and fear. Even those who deny consciousness cannot ignore the strange synchrony between the pulse and life on Earth. Devices hum in rhythm, hearts, and knowingly sync. Machines fail and recover in time with the black sun's beat. Artists document the frozen apocalypse, painting auroras and frost formations with meticulous care. Musicians craft melodies inspired by the pulse, translating cosmic rhythm into sound. Every creative act becomes a means of comprehension, A fragile bridge between humanity and an intelligence it can barely imagine. Communities form. Rituals around the pulse, marking days not by clocks, but by the black sun's subtle signals. Reverence and fear coexist, inseparable, shaping a new culture born of survival and, years pass. Humanity endures. Society has transformed, the earth frozen and distant from sunlight. Teens with resilient life, children grow into adults who have never felt true warmth. Scientists refine theories of the black sun, yet certainty remains out of reach. Every pulse, flare, and aurora reminds them that comprehension is limited, and yet, in that limitation lies a strange humility. Humanity understands its fragility, its dependence on forces far beyond its control. Survival is no longer about domination. Consumption is about attunement, adaptation, and respect for cosmic rhythms. Communities thrive underground, in domes, and geothermal shelters, celebrating small victories and cherishing each flicker of artificial light. Philosophers and thinkers contemplate existence under the black sun. Some ask, if the universe can awaken consciousness in a collapsed star, what of life itself? Are humans part of a larger rhythm? Threads woven into the pulse of reality? Others despair, haunted by the certainty of insignificance, the fragility of life against an indifferent cosmos. And yet, there is every aurora streaking across the frozen plains. Every glimmer of light on cracked ice becomes a testament to resilience. Every heartbeat, sensed unknowingly with the black sun, is a miracle of persistence. Humanity survives, not by conquering nature, but by learning to live in harmony with a force greater than comprehension. The sun is gone, and yet, somehow, it is not, it pulses. A doorway to unknown realities, threading through existence like a subtle, eternal reminder. Perhaps the universe is not merely indifferent, it observes, waits, teaches. The black sun does not destroy, it transforms. Humanity remains, fragile but conscious, alive in the shadow of a singularity that once was familiar, now alien, now eternal, and somewhere beneath the frozen sky. In the subterranean cities and icy plains, every survivor knows this truth instinctively. Life continues because the pulse endures, and as long as it does, hope persists, fragile, shimmering, unstoppable.